Hi guys, let's start a new exercise 26C. Before we start solving questions, let me explain a couple of concepts to you. One is inclination. What is inclination? The inclination is basically an angle which a straight line makes with the positive direction of the x-axis. So this is the positive, which is on the right hand side of the x-axis. It is measured in an anti-clockwise direction. You notice he's measured this angle in anti-clockwise direction. So this is the inclination. This is a line and this is being measured in an anti-clockwise direction. This is making an acute angle here. Again, let's look at a line like this. Here, this is the angle which it is making with the positive direction of the x-axis. Here, this is named it as beta. Notice that this is an obtuse angle. Right? This is usually, inclination is given usually as sine theta. So in this case, let's say this is 60 degree and let's say this is 120 degree. Right? This is an acute angle, this is an obtuse angle. So this is basically an inclination, which is the angle which it makes with the positive side of the x-axis. So what does it mean? Let's look at one other example. In case my line was passing from, let's say here, this is 0, this is negative on the x-axis, this is positive on the x-axis. This is the angle that we are talking about, the angle which it makes on the positive side. Though this is in the negative side of the x-axis, the positive side would mean the right hand side and the anti-clockwise direction. So this angle is the inclination. So any line which is parallel to x-axis. So let me look at a line which is parallel to x-axis. What angle is it making with the x-axis? Nothing. So in such a case, the angle is always taken to be 0. So any line which is parallel to x-axis, the inclination or angle theta is always 0. A line which is perpendicular to x-axis. So let me look at this line which is perpendicular to x-axis. What angle is it making with the x-axis? Yes, it is 90 degrees. So the line which is perpendicular to x-axis makes an inclination of 90 degrees. Now this was in reference to y-axis. Now let's look at line parallel to y-axis. Which is that line parallel to y-axis? This is the line parallel to y-axis. What angle does it make with the x-axis? In this case, theta is equal to 90 degree. A line perpendicular to x-axis, which is the same as line perpendicular to x-axis, the same as the line parallel to y-axis. Now let's look at the next part of the concept, which is slope. Slope, which is m, is given by m is equal to tan theta. There are two ways of calculating the slope. One is m is equal to tan theta. Theta is the inclination which we learned in our previous step. So m is equal to tan theta. This is method 1 of calculating. There is a second method which we do not use in grade 9, which we will use in grade 10. But if you want to learn it, you can learn it. It is y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. Now what are y2 and y1? What is x2 and x1? Let's say on this line there are 2 points, point 1 and point 2. Let's say the coordinates of this point are x1 and y1, and coordinates of this point are x2 and y2. You can calculate the slope by saying y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. This is when the angle is not known. This is one more way of calculating your slope of the given line. You are welcome to use both the methods, but in this year, primarily in grade 9, you will be using this formula, but this formula is also applicable. Now notice I said tan theta. Now tan is a concept that we've done in trigonometry. We introduced it to a bit. We did some exercises there. So this is a trigonometrical function which is tan theta. So you need to remember the value of tan specific angles. So if theta is equal to 45 degree, m is equal to tan 45 degree, and tan 45 is 1. Therefore m is equal to 1. Perfect. So now let's look at slope of a line which is parallel to x-axis. Theta in this case, like we said, is 0, and m, which is equal to tan 0 is equal to 0. Tan 0 degree and tan 0 degree is 0. For a line which is perpendicular to x-axis, which is what we've done earlier, theta is equal to 90 degree, which means m is equal to tan 90 degree, and tan 90 degree is infinity. It is not defined as per what we learnt in trigonometry. So the slope of a line which is perpendicular to x-axis, which means this line, the slope is not defined, and the line which is parallel to x-axis, the theta is 0, so m is equal to 0. Perfect. Now what is y-intercept? I talked about it earlier. Y-intercept is the point at which the given line touches the y-axis. So in this case, this is the y-intercept. So in this case, let's say this is 4. So my y-intercept is 4. Y-intercept can be positive or negative depending upon where it is passing from. So this line will have a positive y-intercept, and a line which is this one will have a negative y-intercept, positive intercept and negative intercept. When my line is x is equal to 0, which means x-axis, so if this is not x is equal to 0, if y is equal to 0, so if I'm looking at this axis, what is my y-intercept? Where is it touching the y-axis? It is touching the y-axis at 0, which means a line parallel to for x-axis, my y-intercept is 0. And for any line which is parallel to x-axis, so any line which is parallel to x-axis, where does it touch my y? It is also taken to be 0. Perfect. Now let's solve some questions. These concepts will become much clearer. Let's go. So the first question we solve is question number 1. So in question number 1, a diagram is given. So let's look at part 1 of this question. It says, in each of the following, find the line inclination of line AB. Now let's give this a name O, let's give this point name D, and let's give this point name E. Now in this triangle ODE, what kind, so OE in triangle ODE, OE is given equal to OD, and this angle is 90 degrees. So what kind of a triangle this? This is an isosceles right angle triangle. So what will be the measure of these two angles? Yes, this angle will be 45 degree each. Let this angle be x. This is also x in case you did not get the calculation. So x plus 90 degree is equal to 180 degree, angle sum property. 2x is equal to 180 degree minus 90 degree. 2x is equal to 90 degree. Therefore, x is equal to 45 degree. So inclination in this case is theta is equal to 45 degree. Let's look at second part. What do we have to calculate? We have to calculate only the inclination. So we've calculated the inclination as 45 degree. If I were to calculate the slope, in this case, if the question was asked, it will be m is equal to tan theta, which is tan 45 degree, which is 1. Perfect. Now let's look at the second one. In this case, part 2. Again, I have this is my x in this case, right? Because this is a negative slope. This is slanting on the positive side with the x-axis anti-clockwise. So let's say this is, let me change the variable. X is already given. Let's take the variable L, right? So, or rather theta. This is theta. Obviously, my mistake. The angle is always theta. Inclination is theta. So again, this is a isosceles right angle triangle, which means this angle is 45 degree. This angle is also 45 degree. So theta will be equal to 180 degree minus 45 degree. This is a linear pair. Therefore, theta, which is the inclination here, is 135 degree. Perfect. Let's look at part 3. In part 3, let's again give this a name. This is point O, this is point D, and this is point E. So x plus 2x plus 90 degree So again, this is my taken in, this is positive slope, so is equal to 180 degree angle some property. So 3x plus 90 degree is equal to 180 degree, 3x is equal to 180 degree minus 90 degree, 3x is equal to 90 degree, and x is equal to 30 degree. So my slope, or not slope, the inclination, which is theta, is equal to 30 degree. Perfect. Let's move on and let's try and solve the next question. The next question that we solve is question number 4. Let me just open that question here. So we are on question number 4. Let's read the question. It says, find the inclination of the line whose slope is 0. So tan theta is given equal to m, which is given equal to 0. So since tan 0 degree is equal to 0, therefore theta is equal to 0 degree. So here earlier we were given theta and we had to find m. Now m is given and we have to find theta. For that you will need to know your trigonometry tables properly. So m is given 0 and tan 0 is 0, which means theta is equal to 0 degree. Let's look at the next one. M is equal to 1. So m is equal to tan theta is equal to 1. Since tan 45 degree is equal to 1, therefore theta is equal to 45 degree. So this inclination is 45 degree. Next one, m is equal to root 3, which is equal to tan theta. Now since tan 60 degree is equal to root 3, therefore theta is equal to 60 degree. Similarly, the last one, this is equal to tan theta, and we know tan 30 degree is equal to 1 upon root 3, therefore theta is equal to 30 degree. Perfect. Let's move at the next question, question number 6, part 1. For each of the equations given below, find the slope and the y-intercept. So we are doing x plus 3y plus 5 is equal to 0. So here I have shared with you the standard equation of a line is y is equal to mx plus c. Let's put this equation in that form. So it will be 3y is equal to negative x minus 5. Yes, negative x minus 5, which means y is equal to negative x upon 3 minus 5 upon 3. Comparing y is equal to mx plus c. What's the value of m? M is equal to negative 1 by 3 and c is equal to negative 5 by 3. Perfect. Let's look at question number 6, part 3. It says 5x is equal to 4y plus 7. Let's write it with y as the dependent variable. So 4y is equal to 5x minus 7, which means y is equal to 5 by 4x minus 7 by 4. Now comparing with y is equal to mx plus c, I get m is equal to 5 by 4 and I get c is equal to negative 7 by 4. Perfect. Let's move on and let's do question number 6, part 5. Y is equal to 7x minus 2. In this case, comparing with y is equal to mx plus c, m is equal to 7 and c is equal to negative 2. And then the last part of this question, 4y plus 9 is equal to 0. So I will write this as 4y is equal to negative 9, which means y is equal to negative 9 by 4. Now comparing y is equal to mx plus c, I do not have a variable of x, which means it is independent of x, which means x is equal to, sorry, not x, m is equal to 0. It is x is not existing, which means m is equal to 0 and c is equal to negative 9 by 4. So my slope is 0 because there is no variable x here, and the c is negative 9 by 4. Let's look at question number 7. Question number 7, part 2. We need to find now the slope of the slope is given, y-intercept is given, and we need to find the equation of the line. So our equation, standard equation of a line is y is equal to mx plus c. So substituting, so we substitute now, substitute m is equal to 5 and c is equal to negative 8. What do we get? Y is equal to, instead of m I put 5, so 5x, and instead of c I put negative 8. So y is equal to 5x minus 8. A good habit to highlight your answer. Perfect. Let's look at the next one. Our standard equation is y is equal to mx plus c, and we substitute m is equal to negative 3 and c is equal to negative 1. I get y is equal to, instead of m I have negative 3x, and instead of c I have negative 1. So y is equal to negative 3x minus 1. Perfect. Again, y is equal to mx plus c. Substitute m is equal to 0 and c is equal to 0, and I get y is equal to 0x plus 0, which means y is equal to 0. Perfect. So this is my equation of the line y is equal to 0. Right, that finishes this part of my video. I have one more question to do, but which is a graph question, which I can't do here. So I will come back with the next video. Thank you so much. Take care. Be safe. Bye-bye.